on a cruise ship. Just on vacation.
Not everyone that's in the prison that is guilty, but we have a university center criminals.
Boy, it looks like the silly season has started early. You know that time every 4 or 5 years when neighbors start getting vexed with each other because they see in different colors? When the entire population is defined by red or yellow? When your district representative suddenly seems to have moved back into your constituency and the mépouille and malparler between politicians begin as they say and do anything to try and win you over? Yes, that's silly season. It looks like it's starting early this time. Now, there are more pertinent issues which need to be addressed during a political campaign, like child abuse, for instance. Hi, I'm Shayne. Welcome to another episode of Solutions, Answers from the People, simple solutions offered by St. Lucians. As a young nation, the proper development of our children is of utmost importance. Yet, many of our children are victims of a dangerous scourge that has plagued us for years, the sexual abuse of minors. There was a recent call for the development of a sex offenders registry here in St. Lucia. We asked the people, what is your solution to eradicate the problem of sexual abuse of minors? Let's hit the streets and hear what the people had to say.
What I'm saying now, my lady, nothing not running under that government, nothing not running, that the girls have to sell their body to defend themselves. Nothing not running, no work, nothing. You understand? All young girls, 15 years, give $10, give $5. You have to pay for that. You understand? Yeah. Things from bad to worse.
The thing I want them to do, just we see the people that doing the children that they need to lock them up, make justice for the children, because the children need the liberty, no violence from the children, because the children need the value too, the mashing up the value of the children. The people that are doing that, they don't good. They have to beat up, put them to jail.
Well, I think in our society we would need to help those people. All right, as you said earlier, that we could get a proper institute where we could get those people to come to those probably meetings or council, to get them some help, because some of them may not be in the right mind, okay, and to do something like this. But I do believe that as a country, we should be able to help them out. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Speculators, stop them from bringing these vulgar clothing, and they got these 50-year-old women wearing these clothing that's not suitable for 50-year-old women. Young kids wearing the same clothes as teenagers, So I think that actually provides an avenue for the guys that actually have these mental thoughts in their mind. So they really need to stop that. So, I don't know where we can find a solution, but I think that's really the problem, is addressing.
I think the solution to this problem right now, I think one, society needs to speak out loud about this type of behavior. And truly, I ask myself, and first thing these people should ask themselves, would they want an adult to sleep with the child underage and stuff? And I ask myself, why would somebody want to do destroy a child life just because they just want to have sex and things? I mean, it is very wrong, and I think right now, but then we have to start with those parents too. I mean, that's why the Bible says, train up your child, with that when the child grow up, the child will not depart from it and stuff. But you see, society right now, what seems wrong seems right, and what seems right seems wrong, and society embraces it, and then people don't speak about it. And not just that, and sometimes when this thing do happen, you find the parents self or want more, they want to give money and stuff, and then you see what happens. Society embraced it, and when those things do happen, we do not take real action for it. But I do not support that type of behavior, and I think it is zero tolerance, and it's very wrong, I think, for those adults to take advantage on children.
What do you think we can do?
Well, the only thing Solutions could do is to have them out of the island. And when I mean out of the island, have them in a place that they cannot even see the children or people and the kind of things they're doing.
Well, boy, I feel God knows. The little youths them, I feel they should hang them out, do something serious about them, but Jah know they can't live. Because the youths them are the future. So you can't disrespect the youths them. All in the press in the church, and they grow, the teachers them, some of the man they sleep with the young kids them.
It's not right, man. I think it's not right. So we have to do something about it. So government have put up placing some laws or some to just deal with the thing. But you see the babies, the man them that sleep with the babies, who try to play with the babies them, you have to get rid of them seriously.
The family at home stop to prevent them from hiding these offenses that are hidden, and with the feeling that if they report the person who is committing that hideous crime, you know, I call it hideous because it's way beyond anything else among human beings, especially children. They feel that the mother will feel that, well, you know, that's going to break up the family. That is the most important thing that's going right now. Yeah, I'm going to lose my boyfriend. I'm going to lose my husband. The family home going to be broken up. You know, some of them have mortgage payments, and there are a lot of serious issues involved in that. So it's very hard for them. You know, the mother is left. So the only suggestion I have for that mother, she must get together with people, with experts in that field, and before she decide to let it out, whistleblow, I call it, on that particular offender, that she needs some guidance, because it's going to be terribly hard for her on both sides. Loving the man, loving her child. That's very serious.
The problem with the sex act thing, my girl, too much children just going behind young big man for money, and some of them live in the island and they're in big position and they're still having sex with young girls.
I think if they have to stop that, they should face penalty, because they are not right. They are not right. They must respect the minor. They have to respect them.
With sex offenders, with children, you should castrate them. Well, I think they need a lot of help, mental health, to be quite, you know, they need that.
These were just some of the answers from the people. We'll take a break now. When we come back, more solutions. Welcome back to Solutions. We asked the people, what is your solution to eradicate the problem of sexual abuse of minors?
As far as I can see, why should a man get himself engaged with a minor? I mean, come on. Let's just not get rid of the private parts, get rid of them, just get rid of them. Because it's not making sense. I mean, so many old women that are there, I mean, they age. They can get a woman their age. I would not even say cast them in prison. Get rid of them. Because you're going to cast them into prison, and when they come out, it's the same thing they're going to do. Because I tell you, if somebody did that to my daughter,
we only blame the children that want to sex with the big man. We can't blame nobody. Well, we've been in the last days now, you know, well, they have more coming.
It's a problem in our society that has been going on for many years. We hear politicians talking about the economy, and no particular politician is dealing with policies in place for minors. We have teenage pregnancy, we have married men having children with secondary school students. And you have the parents accepting monies from these adults, which should be an infringement of the law. So we have family organizations that are instituted by government, and none of them are performing their roles. So I think there should be a strict policy that could only be determined, like a judgment could only be determined by a magistrate, and no parent should have the authority to accept any monies on behalf of their children, whether it's sexual abuse or any kind of abuse.
But children nowadays, I mean, from small, they do whatever they want. The parents let them do whatever they want. I mean, and a lot of the parents, they could, especially they don't have money in the house, they'll send the children and have sex for money. If the children bring money in the house, that's all they're concerned about. The children nowadays, you don't see the way the little girls dress. To me, it will not stop, but I mean, if I have a little girl, not just my little girl, like she going to a strip club or something.
When you fear God, you feel that you have to pay your consequences for everything that it is you do. And if mankind follows suit, and that we make people pay for what it is they do, like taking the innocence of a child, I figure if you're going to have sex with a minor, there must be something wrong with you, like you may not have matured in some way yourself. But to make people pay for what it is they do and show them that there are consequences might deter people from wanting to do it, you know, and not be light on them. Because when you take away the innocence of a child, you take away a part of them growing normally and having a chance that anyone else would have.
Well, they have to give them a hard punishment. Put them in prison forever. Put them in prison forever, leave them down till they die.
That was our first set of solutions. On to our second issue for today. Now we've started seeing videos popping about the internet and TV where the producers of said videos make fun of politicians of a specific political party. In the past, political platforms were the place for such attacks, and where candidates were focused on embarrassing their opponents to gain political mileage. It seems the smear campaigns have started early. But that's not what we really want to hear from politicians. We hit the streets and ask the people, what is your solution to run a cleaner and more intelligent political campaign?
I think we should not even be talking about those negative things on platform. Like sometimes you hear that was said in May we deal with the issue. If those guys want to like come and say all type of crap and stuff, let them talk. But we are focusing on the how we can take this economy, this country from a different level and things and stuff. I think that time of politics, dirty politics and stuff, it doesn't make no sense and things and stuff.
You will never get a cleaner and a more intelligent campaign because everybody greed, everybody envy, everybody get jealous of other people. Instead of people being themselves, they want to be somebody else. That's why they're asking for role models instead of they themselves being a role model. So you will find, again, international morality already disappear. So you won't find them people thinking in that positive way. Everyone is looking for their own self. Everybody living in burglary bars, houses. So you're not free anymore. The people mentality self, it's not free because everybody craving for finance. Economy take over. So you'll always find that man will always be greedy for whatever he thinks that is right to him, but not whatever he thinks that's right to the people. And whatever he thinks that's right to him, he thinks it's right to the people. Because if you see what they're promoting nowadays, and they're not being themselves, they depend on other people to give them a word of advice, a piece of meditation that they could live by. When you can think for yourself, like the scriptures say, let everyone be fully persuaded in their own minds. But no one wants to persuade their own self. They want someone else to persuade them. So we'll always have a problem, always.
Well, I think really we need more honest politicians and trustworthy politicians, people we can trust. And when they see, when they're in government, you know, most of the time people tend to become corrupt. But we need more honest people on the street so that, you know, they could understand the plight of the people on the street and the poverty and what's going on. That's what we need.
The politicians and stuff with the both Labour Party and UWP Party, this thing does, to me, it doesn't make any sense where they just say stuff and they're not proving themselves, okay? If you want to have a campaign which is clean and everything, it's all good. For me, I'll definitely listen to what they're saying and stuff, but some of this stuff they say, to me, it's only said but not done. And action speaks louder than words, and it's been proven time and time again. So when they say it, please show it. Don't just say and not prove yourself. That's what it is to me. So clean campaign, all the way, all the best. But when you say whatever you're saying on the platform, please put it out there.
When you look at it, mostly all politicians is the same. They giving you sweet tongue. They want to carry you before they get elected. But when we elect them, we put them there. They're doing the same thing.
More solutions coming up after this break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Solutions on Choice TV. We ask the people, what is your solution to run a cleaner and more intelligent political campaign?
Yes, so what I believe is that we have to depend on God, because no matter what political power all around the world, you know, it's still going to be the same. You know, things still going to get worse. So only God alone that can set us free. They say they're going to be peace. Man cannot bring peace. You know, man cannot stop the suffering. It's only God that can stop the suffering.
Yeah, the politicians, they are smart guys, you know. They are smart guys, you know, they try to win the seat for them to have big cars, you know, luxury life, you know. So they just try to trick the people around, you know, and they be smart. So it's a money business. Election coming there is a money business.
I hope they keep up to the words. I mean, the jobs and things, and we good at it.
Yeah, you have to stick to the promise. You have to. But you have to try, no matter what.
Be practical. Be practical and don't overpromise. People will respect you for that.
Well, we have a constitution as of 1979, so that the laws in that govern that constitution should be implemented. And also, I think with every political campaign, every single candidate, it should be mandatory in our law that they should have a public debate on national television for every seat in parliament. So the nation could hear their views, what are their views on abortion, on crime, and any other issues. So people could make an informed decision when they go to the polls, rather than people coming on platform and saying this and maybe and nothing intelligent is coming out of them. We have a few good politicians on the island.
Because when I watch it, at the end of the day, everybody just there for the selfie. Yeah, they will give you chicken and rum. They will pay whatever they. People get vexed people because of politics. It will always be like that. I guess all the other Caribbeans the same way. I'm not too sure. I don't know.
About the campaigns, you know, it's to deal with truth. And as we can see, whether it be the U.S. or anywhere else in the world, that is why the world is in a volatile state. You know, you have to live up to what it is you say. And dealing with the true issues is what matters, not badgering somebody else, what it is they're doing. Show what it is you can do and come up with good ideas, you know. We have two Nobel laureates here. I don't think it's from just talking, you know. I think it's from doing what it is they thought was best, you know, and getting credit for it.
Well, the better thing is everybody have to give God their life, you know, depend on God, because God say when they promise peace is sudden destruction. And when they promise liberty, they are servant of corruption. So only God that can make the difference, not man.
That's it from the streets. Let's wrap up. During the 1997 and 2001 general election campaigns, many of my friends attended the major rallies and meetings held by the two main parties on island. They will tell you openly at the time they were not seriously interested in what any of the candidates had to say, really. They went for the lime and the picong, the fun of listening to the candidates smear each other in a bid to win their support. In the election campaign of 2011, social media replaced the rallies and meetings as the main vehicle of insult and smearing. The parties each produced TV ads and internet smear campaigns that tried to sully the reputations of some of their opposing candidates. We're about 2 years away from the next constitutionally due election, and already the parties are taking shots at each other. Okay guys, we're all grown up now. The electorate is smarter, more educated, more informed, more conscientious, and more concerned. We don't care who can barely speak English or who can't speak Creole, who has accent wherever it's from or when it comes in or disappears, who stammers, who shaves their head, who has a jabal or isn't married, who can't dress properly, whose face has more action when they speak than Carnival Monday, who can't win a seat yet, who have a banana farm or an apple farm, who is white, black, or Indian. What you do in your private life is your business, as long as it does not impact on the constituency and the country as a whole. What we're concerned about is your moral standing, your vision for the country, and your level of patriotism, and your managerial skills. We want to know that you genuinely care about this country. We want proper representation. We want to know how you're going to deal with the issues we face daily, why your plan is better than your opponent's plan. We want to see and hear you discuss your vision vis-a-vis your opponent's plan in an open and mature debate. Don't hide behind your supporters and all their hype and throw accusations and suggestions about each other. Come face to face and discuss intelligently and let the electorate make an intelligent decision. Leave the comedy and picong for the comedians. In his book, Discipline and Punish, The Birth of the Prison, Michel Foucault states, "It is the certainty of being punished and not the horrifying spectacle of public punishment that must discourage crime." In the United States, sex offender registries are public, often published in newspapers in some communities, and easily accessible on the internet by just about anyone. They contain pictures and addresses of convicted sex offenders, who in most cases have already served jail time for their crime. The first objective of a sex offenders registry is to protect children and would-be victims from a person accused of a sex crime by letting people know of that person's past. It is based on the principle of recidivism, or the chronic tendency to relapse into a pattern of criminal or antisocial behavior. That in itself is an assumption that a person is likely to recede into their past pattern of behavior. But that is not always the case. Apart from being publicly shamed by being on the register, persons are also ostracized by additional regulations which forbid them from living in certain areas, engaging in certain public activities, accessing various public amenities like parks, and even restricting internet access in the privacy of their home. All of that in isolation of a rehabilitative program for the offender, which would ensure that he or she does not relapse into their past behavior. To shame and ostracize a person like that is a guaranteed road to relapse. We have to include a rehabilitative approach to change the unwanted behavior. In Germany, for instance, there's a 24-hour hotline which offers free counseling to any person who is having unnatural or carnal thoughts about children. But more than anything, before we can begin to think of a registry, we have to think two things: legislate and report. We must protect our children. We must have laws that do just that. But these laws are meaningless if we don't expose and bring to justice those people who continually hurt our children. Stop the wajma mentality that has existed for so many years, the financial arrangement after the fact, which basically equates to parents selling their children off. To turn a blind eye to child abuse in whatever form, be it sexual, physical, verbal, and emotional abuse, abandonment, deprivation of basic needs, to see these things and do nothing about it is itself an abuse of the innocent child. Stop doing nothing. Say something, do something. That's it for today. If you have something to say, we want to hear from you. Look out for the Choice TV crew for a chance to present your solution to the country. Now, if you have a burning question you want us to ask the people, we can do that too. Send us an email of your hot burning issue at solution@choice39.tv. That's SOLUCIAN @choice39.tv. Join us again next week for more Solutions.
So much to family. I work on a cruise ship.
Not everyone that's in the prison that is guilty, but we have a university center criminal